All right, I just hit record.
Wait a second. Let me grab coffee. Jenna, how you doing today?
Good morning. You like my
Scratchy
voice today?
I love it.
I hope you can hear me. That's my only. We're in February officially.
Wow, yeah. Oof, came in quick. There's so much exciting content coming our way in the next week. Super Bowl, the advertiser's total dream. I know we're excited to talk about some of the teasers so far. It's kind of storytelling at its best, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how, I don't know, I may have been oblivious to this, but when we were kids, I feel like the ads during the game were the thing, like the only thing. And now there's a nice like 2-week lead up where companies are like teasing out part of the ad, doing 15, 30 seconds. And you know what I mean? Like kind of dropping hints here and there. And it's
Totally.
so fun.
Making you want to follow along in certain cases. And some you're kind of like, where's that going to go? Which is intriguing in its own right.
The Squarespace one.
Yes, with Emma Stone.
I was like, what is this? I don't know if I'm intrigued though, or if I'm just like, no, thank you.
Well, the article I read was like, oh, she's probably thinking about designing a website. And then all of a sudden Squarespace comes in and simplifies the process and she's good to go. It is a great platform.
I mean, it is a great platform. I love it. Well, I think it's interesting to also look at like all the different teasers that are out there and to look at those who are using celebrities versus like their iconic quote unquote mascot or kind of storytelling vehicle, like the Clydesdales or the Polar Bear.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I'm a huge fan of the Clydesdales. And I do too. They're just cute. But I will say, of all the teasers, I think Pepsi has won me over because, well, of using Coke's brand equity in the polar bears.
Because they hijacked.
Yes. Because they hijacked. I like the through line on a good mascot. It sparks brand equity into me. We're just attaching a multi-million-dollar celebrity or someone of the moment feels a little bit more shallow. It's fun. Trust me, I love celeb culture and whatnot. But I find myself more connected to the content that uses the iconography that I can rely on and remember creative past. It's almost as though I care more. That's my take, at least. What about you, Jenna?
It's so fun. So first off, the Clydesdales have been around forever.
Yeah.
I don't know how long the polar bear's been around, but I remember it for years and years too.
Yeah.
There's something really cool in the soda world, right? The Pepsi versus Coke rivalry, and that people are so strongly there. And there's like the blind taste tests, and it's just fully baked into current culture. And so I am really curious to see what the day of commercial looks like. I love that they hijacked that. The Today Show was even talking about like, wait, is there grounds for a legal dispute? And someone was like, you can't trademark a polar bear.
So I think we've seen it in the past too, with like Dunkin' and Starbucks and rivalries of yore. I don't really think they will get in trouble for that.
I don't think so. I think it's done in jest and it's fun. And it also I would argue that it's good for that whole category. It just raises visibility for both of them. So yes, it is a Pepsi ad, but I think there's a part of it that's good for the category. So I don't know. I'm excited to see that one. I think it's fun. I saw, what was it? Instacart had one with Ben Stiller and Benson Boone. I am a huge Benson Boone fan, just to say it out loud. And Ben Stiller's hilarious.
Yeah.
I did not understand the ad at all. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, agree. I think, well, first of all, the newer one, because it's been around for a couple weeks, some iteration of this little teaser. The newer one, I like that it sort of sparks off the data. Bananas are the number one thing that Instacart sells and delivers to people. So
I missed that, but that is really cool.
Yeah, and I think, I'm not sure the creative really gets to that, but I do think it's sort of a cool factoid, if you will. So they feature sort of prominently in that new teaser. And then obviously Benson's known for being like completely gymnastic and agile. So everyone's like, he's certainly going to do a flip or a backflip or whatever. And then you have the old Ben Stiller, who I appreciate, trying to do the same. Very funny. I think I laughed out loud.
Yeah, I think it's
Um,
just fun
yeah,
and funny. I don't know. We'll see if it actually drives anything for Instacart, but it was
totally.
entertaining.
Yeah, yeah, it was. And I think, big competitor Grubhub too, maybe not direct, but in the conversation, also having presence around this moment as well. That started quite a while ago with Bradley Cooper during football season. We're hard pressed not to see one of those ads with him in some fashion. But I think that's an interesting, I think it's a very appropriate place to play for food delivery, right? It's a big, big eating moment for the US. But that felt a little bit more I'm attaching celeb here. And it seems like there's a lot more A-listers in the ether for that one.
There are, yeah. I think the other interesting thing is like we were talking about Skittles this morning, and I don't believe that they are going to air an ad during the Super Bowl. And for context, I know it's $8 million a minute, right? That's what it is these days.
Exactly.
So it's
It was
pricey.
something like 237,000 a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something
It is
crazy.
not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we have the facts right, I don't believe Skittles is airing an ad during the Super Bowl, but they created an ad with Elijah Wood, and they are doing an IRL, which goes back to what we were talking about last episode,
Yeah.
event with one fan and Elijah Wood. And I think there's something that could be really cool there. I'm excited to see kind of how it shakes out. We can talk about
Yeah.
this next week once we actually see. But that one was building some buzz. It felt very on brand for Skittles.
Totally. A wacky, little
Yeah.
unusual.
And like from a cost perspective, I mean, I can't even imagine how much money they're saving if they're doing it this way.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that too. I think what was the stat? It's like 50% of new advertisers this year.
40%. Yeah. Just under half. Yeah.
So there is something there too. Are companies not seeing the benefit, or are they just budgeting to do it every other year, every couple of years? Because it is such a high price point.
Well, I honestly think about the consumption of it, Jenna. I have seen the Grubhub ads because of watching playoff football. That is the only place I'm intaking any of this on the traditional screen where I was meant to see it. Everything else I've actually sought out online,
Hmm.
roundups of articles and marketing trades and whatnot. So if you think about it, at least for me, party of one case study, it's not reaching me in its natural habitat. So kudos to Skittles because if you're on social media, that's where you're going to see most of it. A lot of it trickles down, no problem. I'm sort of off and on Instagram these days, but absolutely you're going to see it there too. But I think I've always wondered what the ROI, our favorite word, is of an $8 million Super Bowl spot.
I don't know. We'll have to ask one of our clients.
Yeah, yeah. Talkability, sure. Like
Yeah.
in the moment, right? There's heft there. You're relevant, but it
Yeah.
goes away just as fast.
Yeah. I will. I do feel like in the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, eh, yes, talkability, but people are already talking about these things that are coming out in bits and pieces and on
Mhm.
social. Being able to get the build up, I think, is a huge part of it. And if you're just coming out with the ad on the day of, I would argue that that may not be the best use of dollars. But if
Totally.
you have built an arc around it and you're going to do something in the lead up and then post and then continue some sort of storytelling in some way, shape, or form that kind of is cohesive with the ad, that's where I think you can probably win. So I don't know, a lot to watch for this year.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
excited
And
to see that
certainly
play out.
awareness driving. There have been little brands that could who show up kind of for the first time. I sort of feel like Poppy was one of them,
I
maybe.
don't remember Poppy having an ad. Did they do that last year?
Well, I should go back and double check all this, but I feel as though Poppy was a brand that broke through around this time frame and everyone was kind of like, what's that? And now here we are. I think if you're looking for an awareness driving play, and it's not hard to get soda, right? It's like it's
Yeah.
another soda brand. Doesn't need much explanation. So the pop around Super Bowl might make sense, but that might be a good example of something where it actually really worked out in their favor.
Yeah. Well, we can do a little bit of homework, and then next week we'll chat about the ads that we
Yeah.
actually see,
Mhm.
and kind of what's winning in terms of jumping from just on your screen to media talking about it. Today's Show does a lot in the lead up and then after. So I'm excited to see what they're talking about. Speaking of the Today Show, I want to shift gears for a second to kind of the morning and afternoon talk shows, because
Yeah.
they're a staple of our industry, right? From trying to get guests on there and brands on there to brand integrations, right? A lot of them offer different opportunities for you to do brand integrations, whether it's through like an audience giveaway or something of that nature.
Yeah.
We've done them before, everything from Kelly Clarkson show to GMA, and kind of in between. But I saw yesterday that Kelly Clarkson is officially sunsetting her show. I think it'll air through the fall, but taping
7
might wrap.
seasons.
What was that?
7 seasons, yeah. I
Yeah.
know, I saw that too. I didn't dig in though in terms of the why. I mean, there is maybe something about going out on top. I think she did a really fantastic job. I think she was personal. I think she had karaoke, which was something people looked forward
Yeah.
to all the time. She was just awesome. So, yeah, I'm not sure if you read or dug into it a little bit more, Jenna, in terms of why she's stepping away.
I did see something, and I don't think this is the only reason, but I saw something about the fact that she's going to be spending more time with her kids, given that her ex-husband just passed. I'm sure there are a myriad of reasons.
Yeah.
I did see right after she made the announcement that Sherry's show is closing too. The thing that struck me in hearing those two announcements was actually more looking at like our job in our world, because this happens, right? Like these shows come and then after a few seasons they close. And I think that it presents an interesting challenge and opportunity for those of us that are sitting on the PR side, where first off, you may have had, some really good relationships there, and those will suddenly be gone. And so it's another kind of avenue that you had for your clients that will be taken away, or integrations. Like I know the Kelly Clarkson show was really great with integrations, but then there's also that opportunity as new shows spin up to see if there are great fits for your clients. And a lot of these producers kind of shuffle around. Somebody on the Kelly Clarkson show may be going to whatever that new show is that'll fill the spot. So I do think that's interesting too. It's just a turnover and something to keep in mind on our side of the house of, they won't be filming probably from spring through fall, and then they'll be figuring out what that new show is. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it all makes sense. The one constant is change. We wax, we wane, and hopefully something else great will pop up, and hopefully Kelly will do something great with her next.
Well, yeah. Okay, the last thing that I had on my list to talk about. Did you see the McDonald's Valentine's campaign?
I did. Yes. Right. I think it is delightfully unexpected, to be honest.
Wait, tell us what it is.
Sorry. Yes, so their classic recipe chicken McNugget partnered with a Caviar brand, and they are offering like the traditional caviar setup on top of the chicken nugget. So it's the creme fraiche, topped with the caviar, little cute caviar spoon, and all the rest of it. Really just pinning on the high-low food trend. Been around for quite a while. I think of truffle fries as kind of the most ubiquitous format of the high-low food trend. Something
I
that
love
I
truffle
truly,
fries.
truly love. I will not be trying this caviar chicken nugget. Spoiler, I like the chicken nugget as it is. I
I was
know.
gonna say, wait, can we just let your secret out that you are a huge fan of these nuggets?
Yep, I know. I do jam on a good chicken nugget from time to time.
I didn't expect that. I love chicken nuggets.
Liked the, thought it was funny about the sock one. You always had at least one sock or stocking in your 6-pack of nuggets. You know
Wait,
what I'm
I'm
talking
sorry,
about?
what? Oh, the shape of the nugget.
Shape the nugget. It
Yes.
was a stocking or a sock. Yeah.
I will say It's funny. I agree. It's obviously capitalizing on the high-low food trend. It didn't struck me as like, it didn't strike me, sorry, as 100% authentic when I first saw it.
Sure.
But I don't know. I mean, McDonald's plays around a little bit.
Yeah.
They do. They have some fun. I'm curious to see where it goes and if this jumps from some of the more trade publications that we've seen into like mainstream social conversation.
Yet to be determined. But I agree, Jenna. My initial reaction was, yeah, it feels par for the course. Just kind of pleased by it. Just said,
It's
oh,
fun.
okay.
Their brand
Yeah.
is fun
Yeah.
and it's fun. So there's something cool there.
Agree. Totally agree. So lots of fun stuff. We'll wrap up today's session with what's our impact, Jenna.
Let's start with, I was going to mention one more thing. So obviously Super Bowl's coming up, Olympics kickoff.
Yes.
One of our clients is in the sports space, and something that I am passionate about is women in sports. I grew up playing sports. I didn't play college sports or anything, but I grew up playing sports. I feel like it is so important for kids in general to be exposed to sports. And I'm not talking about competitive. Like competitive is great for certain kids, but I'm talking about like team building, respect, being able to
Leadership.
leadership, being able to like cooperate and listen to a coach, bone building, right? Like getting stronger and building muscle and feeling and figuring out what your body can do, starting to understand the connection of food as fuel to allow you to perform well in these different sports. All of that I think is really important for children to experience in some way, shape, or form. And it can be anything. It can be ballet, it can be gymnastics, it can be soccer, football. It doesn't have to be a one size fits all.
Totally.
So one of our clients is in that space, and something that we're actually working to talk about right now is women in sports. So I guess if I'm looking at what's our impact this week, I'm actually going to talk about our impact being one for that client specifically and helping to get that message out, because
Love that, Jenna.
not only is it important for that client and raising awareness, they're trying to expand in the US, but also just for our youth. And as our youth is watching the Olympics and the Super Bowl, I think it's really important for them to realize that they can do these things. And maybe they're not going on to the highest level. That's totally fine.
Okay.
But they can get out there and have fun and play, and it can be a part of their childhood. And I think that's really, really important. So
it's such a lovely group that we're working with there as well. Obviously, we believe in them to our core. I, like you, Jenna, grew up in athletics. They were probably the most important way that I shaped my sense of self in this world. And I played through college and made some of the best friends in my life on those fields. So I will riff off that because I coach my daughter's volleyball team. So I'm staring down my final season as coach. One thing that we taught them last year was when they make a mistake on the court, there's no reason to show any sign of shame or apology when you're out there doing your thing on the court. You know what you're doing? We all mess up. We learn from it. That's the biggest part, especially on the court, right? Especially, you learn from your failures. We're all very big believers in that. But there's no reason to just, kind of show it. And so they took that to heart. And we will take that through line into the spring season, which starts in March. But, we really want to shape these girls and give them good leadership skills.
yeah, no, I love that. And I will, final note on that, I will add is, and M, correct me on this stat, I think it's something like 90% of female executives played youth sports. So it is so important as we translate this back to the world that we're in today. It's so important for them to learn those leadership skills at a young age and practice them in a safe space. So I love that. I love that it's part of our impact this week all around. And I'm excited to see how the volleyball team does.
Thank you, Jenna.
And hopefully we can get some wins for this client.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great one, Jenna. All right, everyone. We'll see you next.